But I always thought it was Fulu. Actually, in case you didn't know this, almost made it into Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and it would have been so kick-ass if he had, but he didn't. And I wish he had, because there's never been a Breath of Fire person make it into a Marvel vs. Capcom game. Of course, Fulu vastly underestimates Ryu. Even though Ryu's not as powerful as Fulu, Ryu has one thing that Fulu doesn't. Backup. See, this right here is the main difference right here. The backup is where I think they diverged. When Fulu was summoned into this world, he was treated as a god. He was brought into the world, and all these people said, "Oh, dear God, please, solve all of our problems." And he just continuously had these problems foisted on him. And, he was treated as above people. And he views himself as above people. Well, when Ryu came into the world, he came into the world naked. The first person he met was Nina. And throughout the entire journey, he wasn't treated, even after they found out he was a dragon, he was not treated special. He was treated as a peer. He was treated as their comrade. As someone that they were traveling with, as a friend. And that's the difference. Fulu witnessed the world through the eyes of a god. Ryu experienced the world through the eyes of a guy on a journey with some friends. He traveled the world with people that care about him. Which I think is the main difference between them. Ryu doesn't feel as detached from the world as Fulu does, which is why they're not able to combine. The world accepted Ryu, and it, I'm not going to say it rejected Fulu, but it tried to keep Fulu apart. And while, humans may be violent, one of the interesting things on all of these examples that Fulu is giving to sway Ryu, there's always something to counterbalance what he's saying. And that first one, it's Yom on both sides. Yes, Yom was trying to kill Fulu, but at the end, he apologized. He didn't really want to do it. He was just following orders. And, and even though humans may be selfish, that's not all we are. Here you have the Prince of Ludia, a man that exuded selfishness, even though you only see him for a couple of seconds. But to counterbalance that, you have Cray, someone who stood up for his right to find the person he loves. And even though we ran into some cruel people, Rasso himself, probably the cruelest of all, in this example, we also met Ursula. I mean, the first time we met Ursula, she showed concern for the people that Rasso had butchered, and then stood up and called him out on being a monster. And even though we met some foolish humans, none more foolish than Yuna in his desire to create a god, we have people like Alina. So, like I said, it's very interesting, even though you have all these negative things that Fulu is trying to throw in your face, and maybe they do support his argument. If you look hard enough, in the same examples, there's always somebody to refute his argument. But at the core of it, I think this right here is what really is motivating Fulu's despair. He got a taste of what Ryu has been experiencing his whole journey. Something that Ryu has literally probably taken advantage. Well, not taken advantage of, taken for granted. Up until the point he came face to face with Fulu. Fulu got a taste of being treated with love and respect, not apart from everybody, but as a part of a community. And that was taken away in the most violent, horrible way possible, and then she was used as a weapon against him. So I think in his despair, he's trying to tell himself that, it's fleeting. It's below him. He's above these feelings of attachment to this world, and the world is not worth his time. And because it's not worth his time, it needs to be erased. Now this right here is the choice that matters. Bad ending, normal ending. So we want to go for the normal ending. I will show you the bad ending later. So, Fulu and Ryu have reached a disagreement. And how do you solve disagreements in video games? Well, there's only one way. And of course, we all know that that way is violence. Against the Tyrant. Oh yes. Welcome to the final battle. Stage 2. Now, the Tyrant switches elements. You can also, by the way, steal Fulu's royal armor from him if you desire. I'm not going to be stealing that during this run-through. I'll do that off-screen, because it takes forever. Alright, the Tyrant will use Dark Wave, the breath attack that it used at the start of, that it could use while you were Fulu. So let's see, we want to use War Shout. Hold on. No, I'll leave that on. It's not a big deal. I was going to put a Shaman's Ring on, but really that's not going to matter too much. Okay, let's see. Focus. And we are going to let's see. Might as well use the Dragon Blade. See, the last battles, using a dragon is not necessarily a bad idea, but you gotta use it a little more discerningly. By the way, those fairies are totally out of place in this final battle. Switching into the dragon in the first chance you get, not really a good idea. The reason being that just the amount of damage that can be done to you. It's very, very bad. So let's see, we want you to heal. Ryu is actually a good person to use for this battle with the dragon armor on, because the dragon armor resists breath damage, which, you know, you saw there because he took like way less damage than everyone else. So let's see, we want to Shadowwalk and Shining Blade. For the most part, my approach to the final battles here can be described as defensive. Hold on one second. Sorry. My phone rang. You didn't miss much. Just had to turn it off. Didn't want you to hear my ringtone. It's a loud siren noise. But anyway, like I was saying, my approach to these battles is defensive, would be the best way to describe it. I like to have someone healing and then 2 people attacking. The boss is, this guy has about 75,000 HP. Vitamins, I find, are actually one of the better ways to heal. They don't do, they're almost good enough to heal through everything, but sometimes you might have to use a Moon Tears during these last 2 battles. So, you might want to keep an eye on that. But the best way to do this, I find, is... Uh-oh. That's bad. Don't kill... Yeah, I killed Ryu. Son of a... Okay, thank you. I'm going to switch Nina out front. Slow and steady is the way I like to do these battles. Just Shadowwalk and Shining Blade my way to victory. Yeah, if you're gonna have Ryu up front, either equip him with an ice ring, which I don't think I may or may not have an ice ring, or sub him out when the Tyrant is elemental changing to water. That's very important, because as you just saw, it can and will one-shot Ryu. This is Malification. Malification doesn't do any damage, even though it looks scary. It does status effects. It will blind and poison you. It's very annoying. Interestingly enough, the Dragon Tear does not protect against it. So, keep that in mind. Ow. Okay, we want to do Rejuvenate. Nina's a good person to use in the first to heal, because she's just so fast. Plus, you know, she can use her magic, whereas everyone else has to rely on items. If you've gotten Nina to level 39, I do believe, she learns a super awesome healing spell, costs 50 AP. It will pretty much fully restore your entire party. Okay, let's see. You know what? I am going to put the... I am going to put that Shaman's Ring on. War Shout. Vitalize. No, Vitalize is not. Focus. And we'll bring Ryu in. And... you know what? No. Hell, might as well just rest. Actually, I should have had Nina do rest first, because that way the War Shout would restore a little AP. Oh well. Damn it. Okay, not too big of a deal. Let's see. It's a good time, I guess, to restore some AP. Where is my salmon? Yes, salmon. Guard. And see ya. One of the great things about having Geosil as your master is you might get lucky and get a freebie when you use an item as one of the people on him. That actually makes him a really good master to have on multiple people for this battle. So let's see. Shadowwalk. Oh, not focus. Shining. You know what? Super combo and Shining Blade. Hopefully I won't get a oh man, really? O triangle X, O triangle square X. Royal attack I didn't do very well. Plus it's gonna miss because yeah. Yay. Alright, you know what? Vitalize, Shadowwalk, and Shining Blade. Like I said, slow and steady wins this boss battle. Like I said, I find using the dragons in these battles very cumbersome due to the fact that you have to heal so often. It's a little easier and at the same time harder to use the dragons in the next stage. Got an Ambrosia. So if you use the dragon, you can actually restore their HP in the next battle.